Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and in today's video we are doing a leopard print Valentine's set of nails. These are a little on the OTT side with nail art, but they were a lot of fun to do, and seeing as it's the last Valentine's video I thought I would go a little bit all out. So do let me know what you think of this design in the comments below. Starting off, we are working on nail tips. So if you are working on yourself or a client, you would need to do all of your prep first of all. But then I'm going to come straight in with my base coat, and I'm using the rubber color base. This is one of the new shades. This is 09, which as you can see is a beautiful sheer milky white. So I've applied a fairly thin coat of this. When I'm working on the natural nails, I really scrub my first coat into the nail. And then you can either come in with your gel polish or your builder gel. But on this set of nails, I'm actually going to come in with a second coat of the rubber color base because I want this color to be kind of like the base color for my set of nails. So this is what's fabulous about the rubber color bases. You can also use them as your color coat. So I've popped that second coat in to cure for 30 seconds, and I wanted a uniform base across all of the nails in this design, so I've done that on all 4 nails. Now, because we're going to be doing a lot of, or a fair bit of hand painted nail art, I'm going to come in with the No White matte top coat. Now, I'm applying this for 2 reasons. One, on camera, it's a lot easier to see hand painting when it's over a matte top coat, I find. And 2, I personally find it a lot easier to do any kind of hand painting, even the most basic designs, over a matte surface. So just a thin coat, it's not going to add any bulk to the nail, so it's worth doing in my opinion, but it is also a bit of personal preference. Then as you can see here, I'm just starting to add the colours that I'm going to be using to my nail art palette. So I have ruby red and tea rose, and on the first nail I'm going to start off by using the stripe liner brush. So I'm coming in with the ruby red and I'm just really working that through the bristles of my brush. When I finish doing my nail art and I clean up my brushes, I always run them through a little bit of clear gel to make sure that all of the previous colour I've used is out of them. So then when you first come in with using them again, you really need to get that colour through your nail art brushes. If you would like a little bit more of a video, or if you'd like me to basically include how I clean my brushes in a video, do let me know and I can see if I can do that. So as you can see, I've loaded up my brush with the ruby red and I'm kind of just going to be doing like a colour block design on this nail. So I'm cutting off the tip of the nail, and I find it easier to do this first of all with the stripe liner brush, and then we're going to fill that tip in with the bottle brush. You can of course do all of this step just using the bottle brush, but I find it easier to get kind of a even line going across the nail if I use my stripe liner brush. So I'm going to do exactly the same again up in the top part of the nail, but using the tea rose. So I'm coming in with my stripe liner brush first of all, just coming across the nail, working out roughly how far down I want that to go. I'm not stressing too much about the lines being perfectly neat because we are going to be coming in with the gold liner nail stickers to come across there. So that will neaten up any part of the line that's not super crisp. However, I do want to make sure it's even going straight across the nail and not longer on one side or anything like that, because the line art sticker wouldn't cover that. And then once I'm happy with this part of the design, I'm going to pop this in to cure for 30 seconds. Now, because we were working over the white base, I personally didn't feel as though I needed to do a second coat of either of these colours. The pigmentation I was completely happy with. So I've only done one coat of those 2 colours. And then on to the next part of the nail is where we're going to start our leopard print. So I've taken Caramel Swirl and Blackheart, popped them down on my palette, and I've swapped to using my detail brush for the leopard print spots. And then I'm kind of just drawing on rough shaped circles, so not nice neat circles, kind of just like a rough spotted shape. I can't think how to explain it, but you want to basically just load up your brush, pop it down, and then I just do a little wriggle to make it so the edges are not even, they're a little bit uneven, and then I'm just coming in again and making them a little bit larger. So this is what you should have so far. and then popped those in for a 10-second flash cure just to freeze them in place. And then I'm going to switch to my striped liner brush, and we're going to come in with the black heart and do the outer parts of the leopard print. Now, when it comes to leopard print or any kind of animal print, I find it's not, unless you're going for a really realistic nail design with it, then it doesn't really matter too much how you make it look. You can go for the more realistic, jagged, fluffy effect, which is kind of what I've tried to replicate here. Or you can just come around your spots with nice, smooth lines. That works as well. But on this particular design, I wanted it to look a little bit OTT. So rather than coming in and doing like nice, neat lines around those circles, I'm kind of feathering them out a little bit so it all looks a little bit jagged. Again, I personally think when it comes to animal print and nails, you can have so much fun. It's not about replicating realistic looking nail art, or sorry, realistic looking animal print. The nail art, you could do animal print in like bold colors and neons and things like that, and it just is a really fun design. So once I'd come around the caramel swirl dots, I just did add on some plain black dots as well, and then we're going to pop all of that design in to cure for 30 seconds. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to use the new line art nail stickers from Kiki London. These are amazing. If you are used to using the fiddly kind of striping tape that's on a roll, then you need to up your nail game and switch to these. These make striping tape so much easier. So as you can see, they are line stickers. They come in a variety of different shades. We've got gold, silver, holographic gold and silver, and then a rose gold, a black and a white. So you've got something for everyone. And as you can see on the sheet, they have a few different sizes as well. So I've lifted mine up using some tweezers, or you can also obviously use your fingers, but I only would do that if I had gloves on, because the natural oils from your skin can transfer onto the stickers and they might not stick down as well. So I do like to pick them up just using my tweezers and scissors, as you see there. So I'll pull up with my tweezer and placing my fingernail underneath just to keep that from sticking back down again. I've cut off a section, and then I'm going to place this down on the nail. Now these are super sticky, so if you do need to remove them and reapply, say for example if you don't apply it straight, then you can do so and it still will remain super sticky. And then you're just going to cut off your edges. So I like to cut these off before I fully press the sticker down. So once I've cut off my edges, that's when I'll then come in with my silicone tool and really stick this down. That is then this design finished. So we're going to put it aside and move on to our second design, and we'll do all of the top coating at the end of the video. On to the second design, and we're going to be doing the leopard print again, but this time with the blooming gel. So I'm coming in with my Kiki London blooming gel. I'm applying a thin layer of this to the entire nail, and then with your blooming gel you want to leave it wet and do your nail art into that uncured gel, blooming gel. So as you can see, I've got the caramel swirl on my detail brush, and I'm doing the same as what I did before, but I'm doing those spots slightly larger. We're going to do 3 up in the cuticle going one way, and then I'm going to do 3 up in the tip area but going the other way, so it kind of like frames the nail. And all I'm doing is putting down those uneven circular shapes, and what's going to happen is it's going to bloom out. It's already starting to, as you can see. So once you're happy with how much that has bloomed, you're going to pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, and this just gives off a really fun vibe to it. It helps create that unevenness that you want for your leopard print spots, and it just gives off, like, because you've got the predominant amount of color in the center of the spot and then it blooms out and kind of looks faded and smoky. I think it's really fun for nail art, for animal print. So I'm definitely going to have a play around and see how this looks with other animal print designs, because this was the first time I tried this. So then I'm going to come in again with the black heart, and I swapped to my striped liner brush for this because I find it a little bit easier, because the striped liner brush is that little bit thinner and it's longer. So personally I find that I use the striped liner brush the most for any kind of nail art. It's just become my absolute must-have favourite brush. So as you can see here, I'm just going around the edges of those spots and creating the black parts. You don't want to go all the way around them. You kind of want to make sure it looks semi-broken. And I try to alternate what way around I'm doing them on some of the nails as well. Now again, I'm just making this look slightly rough and jagged. So I do my little swirl around the spot and then I just use the tip of my brush to feather it out a little bit so that it doesn't look too rounded. Then I'm going to come in with the dotting tool end on my Kiki London dotting and gem tool. And we're simply going to dip that into the black heart and then dot down some little dots just to fill in the animal print a little bit more. And I really loved how this now turned out, especially once it had the matte top coat on. I think animal print looks the best matte. And I really loved how it looked, having that blooming gel effect on there as well. I kind of wish maybe I'd done the black with blooming gel as well. So popped another layer of blooming gel down and done the black lines with the blooming gel as well. I'm definitely going to play around and see what other designs I can create with the blooming gel because it's such a fun product. But I do predominantly use it for my marbles when it has so much more uses than that. Again, we're going to be using it on this now. So on this now, I've come in a layer of blooming gel and then I'm dotting down all of the colours minus the black. So we're using the caramel swirl, the ruby red and the tea rose. And I'm just dotting these around so they're not necessarily touching. It doesn't matter if they do, but I just want to make sure I get all three of those colours on the nail. And then they are going to start blooming out and it leaves you with this really cool effect, which you will see. So I just want this to kind of carve off from one side of the tip. And at this point, I'm just getting all of the colours down, touching up any of them where I don't feel that I've applied enough product. Because although I want them to bloom out, I still want you to be able to predominantly see which colour is where. So at the moment, it looks quite random, but just it's one of those designs where you've got to trust the process. So you can see it's starting to bloom here. And depending on how much you want it to bloom is how long you're going to leave it. I popped it down, left it for around 30 seconds and then popped it into cure. And this is what it looked like. So it gives off this kind of watercolory smoky effect. I used quite pigmented colors. If you'd use say pastels or lighter shades, it would give off more of a watercolor vibe, but obviously I wanted to use the colors that we've used in this set of nails. And then over the top of that, I'm going to come in and do my animal print, but just in all of the black because we've got the color underneath. And then it gives off quite a layered dimensional look, which I thought was quite fun for this set of nails. So far, the design hasn't been too full on Valentine's-y. You could take out the red and change this up a little bit. I think the red and the pink make it look a little bit Valentine's Day like because of the colours. But you could take those colours out, maybe use some summer colours and it would work for summer. Same, you could take them out and use pastels or neons and it would have a little bit more of a funky slash spring vibe. But I went with the Valentine's colours, seeing as it is the last Valentine's Day set that will go up on the Kiki channel. I have really loved doing them. It's like personally, I find it great to have a theme to follow, and Valentine's Day has been a really fun one because I do love a lot of the colours that are associated with Valentine's. But because we are now away from the Valentine's now, do let me know in the comments below if there are any suggestions or videos you would like to see up on the channel. It can be absolutely anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a design. If there's something you would like some help with when it comes to nails, pop it in the comments below, and if I am able to do a video on it, I will do. So as you see there, once I'd finished the black, I popped that now in to cure, and we're going to move on to the fourth and final one. And for this one, I've switched it up and I've got the eggshell top coat. I really love this top coat for nail art. Of course, you can use it over any colour and it will give off the eggshell effect. And that's kind of what it's designed to be used as in the top coat sense. But I'm using it in a nail art sense here. So I'm just applying it to roughly just past halfway down the nail. And I've just painted on a thin layer. And then I'm using the brush just to nudge those eggshell particle pieces around, just so I've got good even coverage across that section of the nail. Then we're going to pop that into cure and we're going to swap back to using those gold line art stickers. So I'm just going to finish off using the strip that I'd been using throughout the set. As you see there, I've peeled it off, placed it down nice and easily on the nail. I'm just taking the time here to get it as straight as I possibly can. These do curve really well as well if you're kind of wanting to do things like cuticle cuffs too. Then once I've got it laid down roughly where I want it to go, I'm going to snip off those edges. You can also buff away if you don't feel confident cutting as close to the nail and skin, then you can cut as close as you can and then buff off the excess as well. And then we're just going to, of course, run over with our silicone tool to press that down. And then to finish off this design, I'm just going to do a cute little love heart over that eggshell section. So I've taken my dotting tool, we're doing 2 little circles, and then I'm loading up my detail brush. And then using the detail brush, I'm basically going to bring those 2 little hearts together. So you want to kind of create a V shape, and then we're just going to neaten it up and we have a cute little heart. I find this really, really simple to do using the combination of the dotting tool and the detail brush. I used to hate doing hearts until doing them this way. Now I've done 1 coat of this, but because it's going over that eggshell top coat, I did want to come in and do a 2nd coat just so it stands out a little bit more. I do like the fact that you can kind of see some of the eggshell top coat through the heart, but I wanted it to have a little bit more coverage. So just taking the detail brush, I'm just coming over that again, and it will just make the red pop even more against that black and white base that is going over the top of. Then we're going to pop that 2nd coat in to cure, and that is all of our nail art finished, and this is what the design is looking like. So this is kind of what they would look like if you decided to leave them glossy. They just would have a lot more of a shine. I really, really wanted to do this set all matte. I love animal print matte. I love these kind of colours matte. So I'm taking the one and only Kiki London No White matte top coat. This top coat gives off a beautiful velvet matte finish. As I'm sure you've seen, I love this top coat and I do use it in a lot of my designs. So I'm just coming over and applying a thin coat of this to all of the nails. And then once that has been applied, we're ready to pop these in and cure them for 30 seconds. And then that, guys, is the end of the video. Do let me know what you think of this design in the comments below. It's a little bit out there, but I hope you enjoyed watching anyway. If you did enjoy today's video, then please do give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and if you're not already subscribed, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscription button. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.